Okay, so I'm going to do all the constructions in both the standard traditional compass, and then I'll also do them with the slide or bullseye compass. So the first one, it says construct a quadrilateral. So we're taking this quadrilateral and we're constructing it over here. I'm going to do it first with this one a little bit faster, and then after I go through this once, I'm going to do it a little bit slower with the bullseye compass, but I'm going to try and follow the exact same steps. So on the first one, I'm going to, you can save a little bit of time by going ahead and doing the length of this line, so FR, as your arc. So if I take that and I swing my arc, so that goes from there through both sides, and then same thing. So I'm from S, swinging the same arc, so that goes through both sides. Now, if I go to the end of this arc, I'm going to take that length from both of these. So I'm going to put my point end here, my other point on here, and mark it. Same thing here, mark that. So now I know exactly where point R should be. So R is now here. Now in a new figure, instead of labeling it R, we're labeling it E. And then we use our straight edge. Any type of straight edge, doesn't have to be a ruler, anything that's straight, draw a line. So now I know where E is. Then we can find the length of FO, extending our compass, again, marking it there, copying it over to the other segment, marking it there. So now where that is, instead of O corresponds to I, so this is now point I. Now we can take the length of RU and mark it off here, and the length of OU and mark it off from here. So first, here's RU, and adjust my compass. I got that setting. I come over here to point E. I mark that same arc, and then I go to OU. OU, I adjust it so it's the same length as OU. Make sure I got that length. Come over here to I, mark it off. Where they intersect, that should now be D. And then I can connect using a straight edge. And I have myself the quadrilateral. So, same thing with the bullseye compass. Again, the only difference between the bullseye compass and the other one is that use the bullseye is the same thing as your point. The holes are the same as your pencil. So, doing the other one, switching it out. Again, save a little bit of time. I'm going to go to R. I'm going to swing an arc. So that goes through both sides. And I made sure it went through point R as well. Swing that same arc. And then I adjust it. I want to get the measure from the intersection to that intersection. So from here. So this one, since I'm color coding, I'll go ahead and put steps. So now I'm taking the length from here, trying to find in that hole where the angle is. Again, marking it. Come over here, copy it. So I went from here, marking out that same distance from here. So that would have been step 2. And that gives me that point, which again, that point is now E. I can go ahead and extend a line from S to E. That'd be the third step. And then we need to get the lengths of FO. So from F, open it up to O. Come over here, same thing, F to O. So now that's I. Again, that would be step, let's see, I did 3, so this would be 4. And then we can go ahead and do the other 2 arcs. So RU, and adjusting my compass. Come over here to E, mark it off. I don't think it went high enough, so we can always extend that a little bit higher. Yep. So that would have been step 5. Then I have from O to U. I'm going to find it in that little hole. Same thing. Mark it off. So that'd be step 6. And finally, draw your lines. And that'd be step 7. So from here to there. And from here to there. That's it. So that's the first one. Alright. Going back to my other drawing. So now, let's do the next one. Construct a perpendicular bisector. This one is straight off the other sheet. So, you gotta make sure you open your compass to more than halfway. Swing an arc above and below from each of the endpoints. And then once you do that, you use a straight edge. Again, it can be a ruler, it can be anything else that's straight. And you draw your line to connect your 2 intersections. And that's it. If you didn't get these 2 intersections, that either means you didn't go more than halfway, and they would have ended up short and they would have never intersected, so you got to do more than halfway. Or you may have made it, the arc's not long enough to intersect. So make sure your arcs will intersect. So again, with the other compass, bullseye compass. Swing an arc above and below from the first endpoint. That's more than halfway. And then from the second endpoint, and then connect those 2 intersections. Now notice, my arcs completely different size than on the first one, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter how long the arc is that you start off with. As long as it's more than halfway, you'll find 2 points that intersect, and these 2 points are equal distance to the endpoints, and every point that's equal distance from the endpoints has to be on the perpendicular bisector. Number 3. So now come back to this one. Number 3, construct triangle ABC. First thing, I gave you A to start off, so we can go ahead and mark off. AB. So that now I can find my other endpoint. So I have that endpoint is B. So now I need to copy an angle. So copy this angle to A, copy that angle to B. So I'm going to have to shorten this up so that it can go through both sides. Measure the distance between the 2 intersections. When I say measure, I'm really not measuring, I'm just extending the compass so that the pointy end is on one intersection, the pencil end's on the other. And then once you have that, you're going to use your straight edge. And draw a line. And then same thing for the other one. So now copy this angle. Swing an arc. Swing an arc. Measure this distance here. Change the size of my pencil here. It helps on this compass if they're level. It makes it a little bit easier to use. And if you do an arc further out, it actually makes it easier. So I actually made that harder on myself by making it so close. But there we go. And then finally, draw a line from B through that intersection. And then I can label that point up there as C. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the bullseye compass. So, again, start with AB. Come down here, mark off AB. So that'd be my first step. Then we're copying the angles. So going for A, swing an arc through both sides, swing an arc through both sides. Once you have the arc, get the distance here. Same thing here. And then once you have that, draw your line from A through that intersection. And then finally, copy the other angle. And this time I'm going to go a little bit bigger with my arc. So again, it should make it a little bit easier to copy. Alright. So now, that'll be step 5. And finally, get that distance on your compass. Copy down here. That'll be step 6. And draw your line. And where they connect, that'll be C. Alright. That's all. So that's the first side. That's 12 minutes. I did it twice, so 6 minutes at most is what that front side should take you. Plus, I also did instructions. Now, for the back, so I'm going to do the same thing on the back. They gave you the pieces at the top, so you're using those for each one. First one says you do AB. So I got AB. I move it down here. I do it once, and I do it twice because it says 2 times AB. So now that's the length of AB, and that's the length of AB. All right, so from here to there, that's AB. From here to here, that's AB. Now we need to subtract off CD. So I could either go in from this side or in from that side. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go in from the other end. So I'm going to go in from where 2 times AB was. Mark it off. So now that piece is the length of CD. So now this length from here to there is GF or FG, however you want to label it. Doesn't matter which point goes where. So now, same thing with the bullseye compass. With the bullseye compass, I'm going to get the length of AB first. Down here, mark it off again. So now, yeah, this length is AB, this length is AB, and then we're going to go backwards with CD. So get that length on your compass. Go down here to this point, mark it off. So now this is the length of CD, whoops, D. So this point can be F, this point can be G. And then on 5, you have recording. on 5, we have, it says the ray below, construct F so that measure angle F is equal to 2 times the measure of angle E. So you gotta get angle E from up top. We have to swing an arc through angle E. Same arc down here. Now I'm gonna make this arc bigger because we're doing 2 times that angle. So it's not just that angle once, it's that angle twice. So they're gonna go next to each other. So again, I swung the same arc on both of these. Oh, and I just realized I did that with the bullseye compass. Here, let me switch over to this one. Same thing, sorry. I'm gonna make it the same length. It doesn't have to be the same length as this normally, but again, it can be any arc to start off. So I got that arc, and then once you do that arc, you wanna do the same arc down here. So then you'd have that arc is double the length. So then we're going to make this that size. So again, copying the angle. Copying the angle. But now that's one time. So now we go there, we just marked off, copy it again. So now we're going to use our straight edge and our ruler. Again, it doesn't have to be a ruler, it could be anything that's straight. And then that's our new angle. That's our new ray. It's double. If I had drawn it through that first one, it would have been the same angle, but again, this is now double that angle. So, using the bullseye compass, same thing, swing the arc. So I go to the arc, the angle, made it extra big. Same thing up here. So I gotta do that on both angles. Again, doesn't matter that measurement to start off, and then once you have that arc done though, adjust your compass so that you can see the angle, mark it off on here, mark it off again. So I call that step 1, and then I call both of these step 2, and finally draw your line, and that's it. That angle again is double the original. Finally, number 6, construct an equilateral triangle. This one's probably the easiest one. We're using length of AB. So we go up to the top, we get the length of AB on our compass. Doesn't matter which end you put your thing on. So then we come down here. We have an endpoint to start at. Now, we could either just choose to do a little mark there, another mark up here, or we can just do one big arc. So I'm moving my compass all the way through. Either way works, because what we need is 3 points that are equal distance from each other. So right now we already have one line to start with. This is marking off that distance on this line. We know we need another point equal distance up here. So now from this other endpoint we just created, swing an arc up there that intersects, and now that point is the same distance away from both of those. So now all 3 of those points are equal distant, and you can connect them, and you have yourself an equilateral triangle. This is triangle ABC. Or, oh no, I'm thinking of the one in the book. This is, again, you don't have to label this one, but if you want to, triangle ABC. Alright, on the bullseye compass, same thing. We go up to the top first. We get the length of AB. Yeah, we got that length. Come down here, mark it off. Again, we're going to swing an arc so that it is, I forget which hole I used. It was the outside hole this time. So that looked too small. So, swing an arc. Once you have that arc, then we go same size. Swing another arc. Didn't change your setting. They have an intersection. Connect them. That's it. And that's that whole worksheet twice in under 20 minutes. So man, each one of those should not take you more than 10 minutes to do those constructions in all reality, because that's also with directions. Now, I'll do a second video for the Springboard pages.